basketball fans, welcome to the Red Zone here at Hicksville High School as we're getting ready for girls varsity basketball action on this Thursday night, 3rd of December 2015. The Lady Apaches of Fairview visiting the Lady Aces tonight. Not a GMC opponent, but not a GMC conference game this early in the season. So this will not go towards the conference championship, but still, Lady Aces would like to put one in the win column. They defeated the Apaches both times they met last year. And, the Lady Aces off to a 2-0 start in this basketball season. They like to keep their winning ways going. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Murphy from Hicksville Community Television. Glad to have you with us. Calling the action for you tonight, Cade Murphy, taking care of the camera duties this evening as we're getting ready to introduce the players to the crowd. Let's take a look at the starting fives for both squads here tonight. For the visiting Lady Apaches, they'll get the start to number 2, Aubrey Breininger. Number 3 is Allison Vetter. Also starting tonight, number 14, Kendra Schrader. Number 23 is Katie Kreitz. And number 44, Carly Phillips. Starting 5 for the Lady Aces, number 10, Caitlin Berenier. Number 12 is Chelsea Taylor. Number 13 getting the start tonight, Micah Schrader. Number 22, Addison Bergman. And number 23, Ashley Peter. Bergman, of course, off to another great start this year as well. I think she's been averaging about 20 points a contest or close to it. And as we mentioned, win down in Paulding on Tuesday for the Lady Aces, and they want to keep that momentum going here tonight. Teams are huddling up, and we'll get ready to head to the center circle to jump this game started. We should also mention, too, kind of unique situation. When we got here, we covered the junior varsity game earlier. They handed us the roster, and it has the varsity listed. And I was like, well, where's the JV roster? And they go, it's same roster for both teams. There are no seniors on the Fairview squad, so their players are all able to go either way, JV or varsity. Tip controlled by the Aces. Berenier up and good. So Berenier makes it an early 2-0 lead. But quickly back the other way come the Lady Apaches. Bounce pass down low to Breininger and out of bounds. Dave Marshall, the varsity coach for the Fairview Apaches, and of course Heather Adams coaching for the Aces. Berenier down in the corner to Taylor. Up and good. Chelsea Taylor gets the tray and makes it 5-0. And that'll be a travel as Schrader shuffles her feet. So the Aces jump out in the first 30 seconds to an early 5-0 lead, and they'll get the ball back. Taylor inbounds it to Schrader, back down to Chelsea Taylor. Taylor looking things over down to Berenier in the corner. Caitlin, pull-up jumper, in and out, no good. Breakaway, up and good for Vetter. Vetter makes it a 5-2 game. Taylor loses the dribble, gets it out of there to Berenier. Berenier tries to bounce pass it down low, but there was nobody there. And that's going to be over the back. I think it might have got Bergman. So Bergman trying to slap the ball away. Gets a little bit of the shoulder in the upper arm. That'll be team foul number 1. On the Lady Aces, Addie's first foul. And Fairview with the ball into a double team. Jump ball between Berenier and Schrader. And that'll be the Apaches ball again. Peter into the game now for the Lady Aces. Bounce pass into Schrader. Schrader quickly down the floor to Breininger down in the corner. She'll bring it out, bounce pass it over to Kreitz. Kreitz driving into the paint, puts it up, no good. Berenier grabs the board, flips it over to Chelsea Taylor. Will come back the other way with the Lady Aces. Taylor, alley-oop down to Berenier, quickly back out to Chelsea for 3, no good. And out of bounds, should have been last touched by the Apaches. So the Aces will get the ball back. Taylor flips it in to Schrader, to Bereni, just inside the three-point arc, no good. Long carom comes out, grabbed by Vetter. Quickly down the floor, Breininger will put it up, no good. And Peter with the board for the Aces. Bereni tosses it over to Chelsea Taylor. Here comes Hicksville in the other direction. Taylor down low, Bergman up. And we'll see what they're going to do, if they're going to give her the bucket. Grabbed by 14, the bucket will count, and she'll shoot one. So Bergman gets the bucket and a chance to complete the three-point play. Quick substitution coming out of the game, Phillips, and into the game for the Apaches, Wendling. Bergman. Bergman lines it up, launches, no good. Rebound, out of bounds. So Taylor looking to inbounds. Looking around, gets it into Bereni. Quickly right back to Chelsea. Chelsea's going to drive in around Bergman, up off the glass. No good. Bergman with a putback, count it. Bergman makes it 9-2. Bounce pass, Breininger up off glass and good. Apache's answer now 9-4. Taylor down in the corner to Bereni. Back out to Taylor. Taylor drives it into the paint, and she's going to get fouled and go to the line to shoot two. That'll be team foul number 2 on Fairview. Breininger picks up her first personal. And Chelsea Taylor at the line. She'll shoot two. Gets the first one. That's 4 points now for Chelsea. Taylor misses that one. And Demlin grabs the board, kicks it back out. And that's Bergman grabs it just before it reaches half court. Over to Schrader. Ball deflected, stolen away by Breininger. Gets it down to Wendling, puts it up, no good. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul on the other end. And that's going to put Kreitz at the line to shoot two for the Apaches. And that'll be personal foul number 1 on Chelsea Taylor. Kreitz gets it. She'll have one more. Second from Kreitz, no good. Demlin grabs the rebound. Tosses it over to Chelsea Taylor, down to Schrader quickly. Schrader to Taylor, down low to Bereni. Up, no good, but she'll go to the line. Caitlin Bereni, good look at the hoop, couldn't get it to drop, but again, she'll shoot two. That'll be team foul number 3 on the Fairview Lady Apaches, and personal foul number 1 on Carly Wendling. Bereni, and she gets it. Had to think about it, but it decided to go down for her. Brisky coming into the game for the Aces. Bereni's second one, no good. That'll be run down in the corner by Kreitz to get it over to Wendling. Wendling quickly down the floor. Bounce pass to Vetter, and they'll move it around the perimeter. Breininger with it now. Vetter in the corner. Looking for some help, partially blocked, and Brisky grabs the ball, loose on the floor. Bergman gets it, and Bereni picks it up. And Brisky gets it back to Taylor. So everybody flying everywhere there for a little bit. Brisky down low to Bergman. Bergman turns around strong to the hoop, up and good. Little token pressure, and Aces fall back onto defense. Breininger with the ball down in the corner, facing a double team, gets it into Wendling, tipped out of her hands by Bergman, who grabs it in the corner, and she tosses it, but it goes right to Kreitz and then goes out of bounds. He'll stay with the Aces. The Aces giving the Apaches some trouble here, and off to an early 13-5 lead halfway through the opening quarter of the varsity girls game here tonight. Brisky for three. Had a good line, but doesn't get it. Rebound comes down to Bergman. Bergman puts it up, and then Demlin tries to get it back up there. Knocked away from her. Kreitz gets it over to Schrader, and Schrader will take it across. Down to Breininger on the wing. Breininger bounce pass to Vetter. Down inside to Kreitz. Back out to Wendling. Wendling, Breininger. They'll reset and try it again. Kreitz grabs that one after he gets away from Breininger. Now Vetter. Vetter trying to drive in. Gets it off to Breininger. Breininger into a double team. And we're going to have a jump ball. Bereni almost got it out of there. But the jump ball will work just as well, as the Aces will get possession. Breininger going to come out of the game, and coming in will be Mercedes Wagner, wearing number 32. Also back into the game, number 44, Carly Phillips for Fairview. Brisky gets the inbound from Taylor. Brisky bounce pass down to Bergman, who rockets it across to Chelsea. Chelsea into the paint, strong to the hoop, up no good. Rebound comes down to Schrader. She gets it over to Kreitz. Kreitz needs to watch out for Bereni. Tries to feed it inside to Phillips, deflected by Brisky. Bergman comes up with it and gets it over to Taylor. 2:50 left in the first quarter, and Brisky with the ball for the Lady Aces. Over to Taylor. Taylor back to Brisky. Brisky bounce pass down low to Bereni, up and good. Nice offensive series there as Bereni gets the bucket, and the Aces go up 15-5. Wendling to Kreitz. Back to Wendling on the wing. She tries to drive in, kicks it back out. Shot is up, air ball, no good. Kreitz with the rebound. Excuse me, that was Kreitz with the rebound. And we're going to have a whistle underneath the bucket. And that's going to be on the foul, common foul. That'll be Bergman's second. Oh, her first, I'm sorry. Bergman's first personal, team foul number 3. I thought she'd pick one up earlier. Long inbounds to Phillips. She gets it to Schrader, and she gets tied up with Chelsea Taylor. And we're going to have a timeout on the Fairview bench. 2:17 to go in quarter number 1, and it has been kind of wild and woolly, to say the least. And the Lady Aces with the 10-point lead early on, 15-5. Both teams have committed 3 team fouls. And again, the Apaches use their first timeout of the evening. Fairview, a very young team, as we mentioned earlier. They have no seniors on their roster, and really just 2 juniors. They have 5 sophomores and 6 freshmen. So a very young team, and the inexperience is showing a little bit, but they have got some talented players. As I said, they all sort of go back and forth between varsity and junior varsity, so we got to see some of their more marquee players for a little bit in the fourth quarter of the junior varsity game. They have some real talent on the team, and they're going to be somebody to keep your eye on the second half of this season, and then next year when they've got a season's worth of basketball under their belt. They're probably going to be somebody to be contended with. 2:17 to go, quarter number 1, as we get ready to get back in action. Bounce pass in and launched quickly, and it's good for 3 for Kreitz. Katie Kreitz gets the tray and makes it 15-8. On the other end, it's Bergman going up and drawing the foul. Both Bergmans on the floor right now, too, so we'll have to designate between Addison Bergman and her younger sister, Katie. Addie at the line right now. She's the one with the 22, and Katie has just the single 2. Bergman first to 2. Short. She'll get one more. You can tell Addie's one of the leading scorers in the region because there's about 4 people down there with cameras every time she gets ready to take free throws. She gets the second one. Other way. Wagner over then to Schrader, to Phillips. They'll move it around. Wagner will put it up. No good. That'll be the Aces ball out of bounds as Ashley Peter gets ready to check back in for Hicksville. She'll spell Kate Bereni. Brisky long inbounds to Katie Bergman to Addie Bergman, and Bergman's going to drive up. No good. Tries for her own rebound, but Wagner grabs it from her. Wagner tosses it over to Wendling. Wendling quickly down the floor, bounce pass to Phillips in the corner. That's up and short. Bergman grabs the board, and she's swarmed by a couple of Apache defenders. Addison gets it out of there. Back to Natalie Brisky, and we come the other way with the Aces. Bounce pass to Katie Bergman, and she's going to be fouled. That'll be on the floor, and it'll be Aces ball out of bounds. That'll be team foul number 5 on the Apaches. Micah Schrader getting ready to check back in for Hicksville. And she will come in. Schrader. And Bergman will step out. Katie Bergman will step out. And substitution for the Apaches as well as Vetter comes back into the game. Taylor down into the corner to Schrader. Schrader inside to Peter. Peter kicks it out to Brisky, and it's knocked out of bounds by Wagner. Oh, I'm going to say last touch by Natalie. Number 5, Katie Robinson into the game for the Apaches. Robinson bounce passes it in to Schrader, and here we go. Closing in on 1 minute left to go, and that's going to get kicked out of bounds by Chelsea Taylor. 1:05 left in the opening quarter. And the Aces up by 8, 16-8. Robinson waiting to get the ball. Inbounds to Schrader, and we're underway again. Schrader, bounce pass down to Wagner, who puts it up and dribbles along the rim, no good. Peter with the board, gets it off to Micah Schrader. Schrader almost loses the dribble, gets it back, guarded by Wagner. Schrader to Taylor. Chelsea driving in on the baseline. There's a bit of a collision, ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Aces. Ran into Kendra Schrader. 43 seconds. Inbounds to Schrader, puts it up and good. Micah Schrader with a nice bucket. And the freshman gets her first 2 points of the night. Bounce pass to Wagner, who feeds it back in, up off glass, no good. Put back by Schrader, no good, and Bergman grabs the board. Bergman gets it to Taylor. Taylor with 20 seconds. Takes it across half court with 17. Tangles with Wagner, gets the ball back. Taylor over to Brisky, to Addie Bergman. Her jump shot is good. 4 seconds. And here comes Schrader to launch it. Off the glass and no good. And that's the end of the first quarter with the Aces coming out on top 20-8. Our score after 1. We'll get ready for the second half. Catch my breath a little bit here. Oh, they're moving up and down the floor pretty quickly. And this is the time that we'll say a big thank you to our basketball broadcast underwriter here on Hicksville Community Television. That, of course, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships here in Defiance, and in particular, the Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick dealership, and also our good friends at Jim Schmidt Ford. Hey, winter weather rapidly approaching. We've already had a little bit of freezing rain the other night, as a matter of fact, here in Northwest Ohio. So if your car needs to get serviced and get ready for the cold months ahead, get it winterized, there's 2 terrific service departments at both the Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick and the Jim Schmidt Ford dealerships. You can stop in, get that oil changed, get those tires checked over, make sure your radiator's in good shape, and get all ready to go for the cold driving months ahead. And it's just part of the reason why they treat you right. Great service before, during, and after the sale at the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. 8 minutes on the clock as we get ready for quarter number 2 of the varsity contest. Aces up 20-8. Micah Schrader, freshman, inbounds it to Chelsea Taylor, launches it over to Natalie Brisky. Down to Schrader in the corner. She'll drive baseline, feed it in, nice to Bereni, up and good. Nice pass, and Bereni drives it home. On the other way, Schrader down into the corner, kicks it back out to Robinson. Robinson over to Wagner. Wagner to Schrader, who puts it up, no good. Phillips tries to get it up under the bucket, no good. Loose on the floor. Bergman grabs the ball. Chelsea Taylor down quickly. Taylor feeds it down to Schrader. Schrader puts it up, and good. Schrader gets the bucket. Chelsea Taylor goes for the steal, just misses. Wagner to the hoop, count it, and she will go to the line. Mercedes Wagner gets her first bucket of the night in the varsity game. She had, I think it was 6 points in the junior varsity contest. So Wagner on the line to complete the three-point play, hopefully. That was team foul number 1, by the way, or rather personal foul number 1 on Bereni, and team foul number 4 on the Aces. Wagner's shot's no good. Taylor grabs the board. It'll go out of bounds. Wagner dogging her. Taylor will inbounds to Schrader. Schrader back to Chelsea. 1 minute in to the second quarter. Taylor bounce passing it in to Addie Bergman. Bergman losing it on the floor, trying to get it back. And we're going to have a jump ball called, and that should be the Apaches. Nope. So it'll be White's ball. It's kind of hard to read the arrow from behind. You know, I get turned around sometimes. And so I said, okay, now Fairview has. Okay, so I'm not crazy after all.
It looks like they've got 2 people doing the arrow, and one of
them
keeps forgetting.
I said I feel vindicated now because I was pretty sure it would have been Fairview's. So Schrader with the bounce pass over to Robinson. Robinson to Vetter. Kicked out of bounds. So Katie Robinson will get ready to inbounds it once again. Her team down by 14. Robinson gets it into Schrader. There's Schroeder. And we're going to have a whistle. And that'll be Ace's ball as Wagner stepped on the baseline. Taylor, bounce pass down to Bereni in the corner. Over to Micah Schrader, who will drive into the hoop. And we're going to have a foul on Micah, and she will go to the line to shoot 2. And that'll be team foul number 6 on the Apaches, and the first personal tonight on Katie Robinson. Schrader gets it to drop. 5 points now for Micah. She gets one more. She gets that one too. Schrader gets them both. And here come the Apaches. The other Schrader, the Fairview Schrader. Bounce pass to Vetter off of her feet. Micah Schrader picks it up. Another turnover, and we'll come back the other way with the Lady Aces. Bergman inside off of Brisky's hands. The turnover. Schrader grabs it for the Apaches. She'll move her way through traffic and head to the hoop. And they're going to wave it off. So Schrader will pick up the foul. It'll be on the floor before she started driving for the hoop. Katie Bergman will be back in the game, and Brisky will have a seat. That'll be the second personal foul on Chelsea Taylor. Inbounds, Phillips puts it up, no good. Bergman grabs the board. She clears it. Chelsea Taylor takes it across the timeline for the Lady Aces, guarded by Wagner. Taylor playing Wagner tough, goes to the hoop, count it, she's going to the line. Taylor with points 5 and 6 there, and she'll be at the line to see if she can complete the three-point play, and that's personal foul number 2 on Kendra Schrader. And that's team foul number 7, so the Aces in the bonus for the last 5 minutes and 39 seconds of this half. And Schrader's going to come out with those 2 fouls, and in for her will be number 10, Carly Wendling. Taylor, in and out, no good. Vetter grabs the board and tosses it over to Wendling. Wendling tripped from behind by Bereni. And Bereni will pick up the personal foul. That'll be team foul number 6. That's Caitlin's second. Inbounds to Robinson, who gets her pocket picked by Katie Bergman. Bergman flips it over to Chelsea Taylor. Down low to Bereni, up off glass and good. That's 9 points now for Caitlin Bereni in this first half. Kick back to Vetter. Vetter over to Wagner. Wagner drives into the paint, lays it up off glass and good. Michelle Wagner gets the bucket to make it 30-12. And we'll come the other way with the Lady Aces, who again can afford to take their time a little bit here. Schrader driving the baseline, and she gets tangled up with Vetter. Ball goes out of bounds, and the Apaches will get it back. Avery Demland back into the game as Caitlin Bereni will have a seat. Vetter inbounds it to Wendling. Carly Wendling quickly up the floor, bounce pass to Breininger. Breininger has the pass stolen away by Chelsea Taylor. Taylor feeds it down to Demland, lays it up and in for the easy bucket. And Fairview needs to talk about it because they're bang, bang, bang down by 20. Aces are in the bonus, and things are starting to get a little wobbly. The wheels haven't come off yet, but bumpy ride so far for the Lady Apaches. They need to get themselves under control. They've been playing good aggressive ball. They just have not been able to get their shots to drop. And the Aces have been just picking off their passes and getting way too many turnovers off of them. So quick 30-second timeout to try to get his team refocused by Coach Dave Marshall. A little break huddle. 4:37 to go before halftime. And again, the Lady Aces up by 20. Both the Bergman girls, Avery Demland, Micah Schrader, and Chelsea Taylor on the floor for the Lady Aces. Bounce pass into Carly Wendling, and here we go. Wendling cross timeline to Breininger on the wing. Kicks it back to Vetter. Vetter looking things over to Wagner. Wagner. And we'll keep moving it around the perimeter. Deflected by Taylor right into the hands of Demland, who throws it back to Chelsea. Chelsea takes it to the hoop, and down it goes. Taylor with the bucket. That's 8 points now for Chelsea. Wendling, they put it up, no good, and Addie Bergman grabs the board. Gets it to Chelsea Taylor, and again the Aces dropping back, but Wagner's going to ghost Taylor a little bit. Taylor down to Addie Bergman, up off glass, no good. Bergman with her own board, puts it up and in. It's 11 points now for Addie. Vetter with the ball for the, bounces it off to Breininger, to Wagner. Wagner from three-point land, no good. Taylor grabs the long carom, and she's down the side of the court. Spin move to get away from Wagner. Chelsea takes it down baseline, lays it up and in. Breininger. Guarded by Taylor, looking for some help. Breininger going to get the 5-second call. She does. She'll turn it over on the 5-second call. Good defense from Chelsea Taylor. Chelsea's going to come out and get a bit of a breather, as will Addie Bergman. Brisky will be back into the game, along with Ashley Peter. Natalie Brisky, under 3 minutes. Katie Bergman down in the corner, feeds it inside to Peter, puts it up, count it, and she'll go to the line. Ashley Peter, the junior, with the bucket and draws the foul. That'll be team foul number 8 on the Apaches. And that's going to be the second personal on Carly Wendling. Ashley Peter. And she gets it to drop. Gets the friendly bounce, and it goes down. Back the other way. Wendling to Wagner. Wagner kicks it out to Vetter. Back to Wagner. Wagner's going to drive baseline. Bounce, pass it out. Nice to Kreitz, up and good. Nice pass to Kreitz. Kreitz gets the bucket. 41-14, Brisky. Hanging on, guarded by Wagner. Bergman for 3, off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound, loose on the floor. And Natalie Brisky gets it, tries to get it down to Bergman. Pass was almost intercepted by Kreitz before she could control it, though. She took it out of bounds. And so it'll go back to the Aces with 2:15 to go before halftime. Brisky alley-oops it in to Micah Schrader, who gets it, guarded closely by Breininger. Wagner in there now, and she's going to tangle with Schrader. She's going to get the foul. And that should put Micah at the line to shoot 1 and 1. And it does. That's personal foul number 1 on Mercedes Wagner. Team foul number 9. So this is going to be the only 1 and 1 that the Aces will shoot in this half, because if there's another foul, it'll be double bonus, and they'll shoot 2. Schrader hits the front end. She'll get the bonus. And that one's good, too. Micah Schrader, 4 from the free throw line to go with 2 field goals. Vetter puts it up, no good. Volleyball comes out to Kreitz. She controls it. And they'll reset, try again. And that'll be Schrader putting it up, no good. Or excuse me, Wendling putting it up, no good. Wagner grabs the board. Over to Kreitz. Kreitz for 3. That one's no good. And Schrader grabs the board for the Lady Aces with 1:35 left to go in the half. Brisky takes it across the timeline. 90 seconds left before halftime. And that'll be away from the ball on the Aces. And that'll be an offensive foul. I think it was a moving pick. And that will be Bergman picking up her first personal. Katie Bergman. Wendling with the ball for the Lady Apaches. Kicks it out to Wagner, over to Breininger. Guarded by Katie Bergman. Breininger looking for some help, kicks it back out to Kreitz. Kreitz with the double dribble to turn it over to the Aces with 1:13. Natalie Brisky. As we approach a minute left in the half, she loses the dribble, and Wendling picks it up over to Wagner. Wagner, the easy layup, misses it. Demlin grabs the rebound, gets it off to Schrader. Schrader controls it, now to Brisky with 53. Brisky down to Bergman. Katie Bergman sets, pops, no good, grabs her own board. Bergman tries to get it out of there, does to Peter. Peter under the bucket, up off glass and good. Nice assist from Katie Bergman. Ashley Peter gets the bucket. We're nearing 30 seconds to go before intermission. Wagner over to Breininger. Breininger from just inside the three-point line, partially blocked. Grabbed by Vetter. Vetter puts it up no good, and Demlin grabs the board again. Brisky guarded by Wagner. Over to Schrader, down to Peter. Peter's going to draw the foul from Wendling. That's going to be 2 shots. And Caitlin Bereni ready to come into the game. She's a little bit early. They got to wait for the referees to say it's okay. So Bereni back into the game, and it's going to be Ashley Peter in the double bonus, so she'll shoot 2. And that's team foul, or personal foul number 3 on Carly Wendling. Peter, and she misses the first one. She gets one more. Wendling's going to have to come out with those 3 personal fouls, and Robinson in for her. Peter will get her second shot. Puts it up, no good. But Schrader with the board, up no good, and that one's grabbed by Vetter. Vetter quickly the other way for the Lady Apaches. Over to Wagner. Puts it up, no good. Mercedes Wagner will go to the line. And that'll be a 2-shot foul, and that will be personal foul number 1 on Micah Schrader. 4.1 seconds, and Mercedes Wagner at the line misses it. She gets one more. Aces lucking out. They've got this game well in hand at this point. And the Apaches missing out on opportunities to draw a little closer with the clock stopped. Wagner gets the second one. She's got 5 points. Brisky to Bereni, puts it up, no good, and that is the end of the first half. And we'll go to halftime with the Lady Aces comfortably leading in this varsity contest. They're on top of the Fairview Lady Apaches by 30, 45-15. We're going to take a break, but stay with us. Back shortly, we'll have all the exciting second half play-by-play coming your way right here on HIX-TV. Welcome back. About a minute away from getting the second half underway. This varsity girls basketball game between the Lady Apaches of Fairview visiting the Aces here at the Red Zone. Halftime score, Aces up with a commanding 30-point lead, 45-15. First half scoring, unofficial numbers, of course. In that first half, leading scorer for the Lady Apaches was Katie Kreitz with a 3-pointer, a 2-pointer, and a free throw for 6. 5 points for Mercedes Wagner, a couple of field goals and a free throw. And 2 points each off of a bucket for Aubrey Breininger and Allison Vetter. And that's it for the Fairview squad. On the Aces side of the coin, look at these scores. Addison Bergman, 5 field goals and a free throw for 11. Chelsea Taylor, a 3 twos, and a field goal for 10. 9 points for Caitlin Bereni, 8 for Micah Schrader, 5 for Ashley Peter, and 2 points for Avery Demlin. So the Aces, again, kind of dominating in the first 16 minutes. But we still have 2 quarters to go. We get the second half underway. It's the Lady Aces ball. Schrader inbounds to Chelsea Taylor, and we're underway. Taylor tries to feed it down low, carry him down to there. And Schrader on the other side. We should mention there are 2 Schraders. There's Kendra Schrader for Fairview, number 14, and Micah Schrader for the Apaches, number 13. Micah Schrader to Chelsea Taylor. We come back the other way. 7:43, and the clock rolling. Schrader looking things over. Bounce pass to Bereni. Down to Taylor in the corner. Taylor from 3, no good. Wagner grabs the board for the Lady Apaches. She gets it out of there. A little bit of trouble. Schrader for the Apaches winds up with it on the other side of the court. And Kendra Schrader over to Wagner. Back to Schrader. Pitches it into Phillips. He'll kick it back out to Schrader. Bounce pass to Vetter down in the corner. They'll move it around the perimeter again. That one's stolen away by Taylor. Taylor with a breakaway. Up and in. Chelsea Taylor breaks the scoring ice for the second half. And the Aces go up 47-15. Wagner gets her feet tied up with Taylor. No foul. Taylor working through traffic. Drives to the hoop. Puts it up. No good. She's fouled, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2. That'll be team foul number 1 on the Apaches in the second half. And that's going to be Phillips getting her first personal. Chelsea Taylor will be at the line. She'll shoot 2. Taylor gets the first one. One more for Chelsea. And she gets them both. 12 points, now 14, for Chelsea Taylor. Schrader to Wagner to Vetter. As the Apaches look to set their offense. Runs into some trouble, kicks it back out. Wagner feeds it inside to Phillips. Phillips moves to the hoop and can't get the roll. And the rebound comes down to Kreitz, who steps on the end line. And turns it over again. And a little frustration starting to show around the edges on some of the Apache players here tonight. Schrader to Taylor. Chelsea down low to Micah. Micah drives baseline, pulls up, launches, no good. Bereni grabs the board, and it's ripped right out of her hands by Kreitz. Kreitz gets through the double team to Phillips, quickly down the floor, but she overthrows Schrader, and it goes out of bounds. So it'll be another turnover, as Mercedes Wagner wound up about 6 steps up into the bleachers. I'm not sure exactly why. I think she might have been going after the ball. Chelsea Taylor down to Ashley Peter, can't control it, comes loose, and the ball's grabbed by the Apaches. They almost lose it a couple times. They manage to get it under control. Kendra Schrader to Kreitz, and we're going to have a travel. She gets it to Phillips, and Phillips takes a step when she goes to pass. And the Fairview coach has seen enough. He wants to talk to his team one more time.
And he's taking a full timeout to do it.
So a full 1-minute timeout as, again, we've played a couple of minutes here in this third quarter, and no points at all for Fairview. And, again, they've been kind of ragged and had a few turnovers. So get his girls calmed down and try to get them refocused a little bit. Again, the Aces have come out and only scored 4 unanswered, but when you were down 30 to begin with, now you're down by 34, 49-15. It's shaping up like it could be kind of a long night for the Apaches here at the Red Zone. Get ready to break huddle. Coach Heather Adams reiterating a few things with her squad as well. Micah Schrader getting ready to inbounds. And Chelsea Taylor. And Micah Schrader again. Bergman will drive baseline strong to the bucket, no good. Rebound to Ashley Peter, and we're going to have a jump ball. She gets tied up with Kreitz. Did we just get recognized by Bob Weatherhead?
We might have,
yeah. I have to thank him for that. Inbounds to Kendra Schrader. Schrader over to Wagner. Back to Schrader. Over to Kreitz. Bounce pass inside to Phillips. Phillips in the paint, puts it up. No good. And 3 Lady Apaches diving and jumping for the rebound, and all 3 of them took it out of bounds. Ashley Peter coming out. A little bit upset she wasn't able to control that shot a little bit better. Brisky into the game. Natalie will inbounds to Chelsea Taylor. Taylor guarded by Schrader. Taylor looking things over. Long alley-oop pass. Brisky right back to Taylor. Taylor squaring up, thinking about it. She'll get it to Brenny. Brenny from just inside the three-point arc. No good. Brisky puts it back up and gets the shot. Natalie Brisky with her first bucket of the night. So she joins the scoring parade. Phillips back to Schrader. Schrader drives baseline and loses it out of bounds. So Fairview turning it over again. I don't even want to guess what the Fairview turnover numbers are.
20
going to guess that there'll be something that'll be discussed in the team meeting tomorrow.
I'd say it's something we'll probably discuss on the bus back.
Looks like she's going to draw the foul. They got her on the wrist as she drove baseline. So Caitlin Bereni going to go to the line. That'll be team foul number 2 and the second personal on Mercedes Wagner. We'll send Caitlin Bereni to the line to shoot 2. Bereni got it. And Bereni, one more. And that one's short. Wagner grabs the board for the Lady Apaches, who are really in a hole now, down 52-15. Kreitz from 3, no good. Bereni grabs the board. Over to Chelsea Taylor, and quickly back the other way. Taylor holding it up at that three-point arc. Now she's going to drive into the paint. Demlin comes up with it. Hook shot, no good. Rebound bouncing around on the floor. Kreitz comes up with it for Fairview. Gets it over to Schrader. Schrader rockets it down, but it bounces off the back of Natalie Brisky. And Brisky grabs it, gets it back to Chelsea Taylor. Will come the other way. Schrader's going to clobber Taylor, and that's going to be another foul on Kendra. And I think that's going to be number 4 on Schrader. Nope, number 3. Taylor to Bereni to Brisky. Brisky back to Taylor. Chelsea's going to drive baseline up to the hoop. No good. Put back up by Addie Bergman. Second time. Demlin gets the third rebound. No good. And this time it's Bereni. Kicks it back in. Puts up by Taylor and ripped out of her hands by Phillips. And here we come the other way with Schrader. Over to Wagner, who'll put it up and good for the Apaches. Wagner gets her 7th point of the night. Taylor, pull-up jumper from the free throw line. She's fouled. Tipped out of bounds, but not before the infraction occurs. Oh, nope, they're going to change. One official held up 2 fingers for a 2-shot foul, but it'll be on the floor. Inside quickly to Demlin. And then Taylor's going to commit a foul. And she goes over the back on the rebound. Katie Bergman getting ready to check back into the game. She does. And Breininger coming in for the Apaches as well to spell Wagner. Teammates standing up, and they'll give Mercedes a few well-deserved pats on the back. She's been playing her heart out there tonight. Kreitz to Schrader, bouncing inside to Phillips. Phillips, and they'll move it around. Breininger. Schrader for 3, and she gets it. Kendra Schrader with the tray to make it 52-20. Addison Bergman strong to the hoop. And she's going to get called for the charge. And that'll be Addison's second personal foul. 2:51 to go here in the third quarter. And Kendra Schrader will bring the ball across the timeline over to Kreitz. Back to Schrader to Breininger. They'll move it around the perimeter here. Kreitz will put one up. No good. Not even close. And Bereni will grab the rebound over to Brisky. Brisky, way too much on that throw. Got away from her and goes out of bounds. And Madison Siebenaler will come in now and spell Addison Bergman. Some good height there now for the Aces between Demland and Siebenaler and Bereni and Katie Bergman. And Phillips goes to the hoop, and she's going to draw the foul. That's going to be on the floor. So Bereni will pick up her third foul. And they'll put Robinson back in the game. Reininger gets the ball inbounds to Kreitz, over to Schrader. Schrader over to Robinson, back to Schrader as they'll move it around the perimeter. And Robinson, and they'll move it around again, deflected, and Natalie Brisky comes up with the ball for the Aces. Down low to Bereni, up and good. Caitlin Bereni with the hoop. Turnaround jumper is up for Kreitz, no good. Rebound comes down to Bereni. Bereni to Natalie Brisky. Brisky gets out of trouble to Bereni on the wing. Down low to Katie Bergman for three, no good. Demlin goes for the rebound and tips it out. Schrader will come in now for Caitlin Bereni with those 3 personal fouls. And it's Kendra Schrader for the Lady Apaches. Schrader over to Breininger, back to Schrader, who will launch from 3 off the front of the iron, no good. Siebenaler with the board to Micah Schrader to Natalie Brisky with 1:13 to go in quarter number 3. Down to Siebenaler, who puts it up and good. Madison Siebenaler with the bucket. That makes it 56-20. Double dribble and another turnover for the Lady Apaches. As Wendling will check back in for Fairview. And Kendra Schrader will get a bit of a breather. Brisky inbounds to Micah Schrader. Back to Brisky. Brisky long pass to Katie Bergman. Back to Micah. Micah will drive in on the baseline. Try to put it up. Get it stripped away. Knocked out of bounds. It'll go to the Lady Apaches with 50.7 seconds left in the third quarter. Inbounds to Wendling. Wendling to Breininger. Breininger will put it up off the iron. No good. Rebound comes down to Natalie Brisky. And we're going to have a foul. And that's going to be on Carly Wendling. That's her 4th. And that will be team foul number 4 on the Apaches with 37 seconds left in the third quarter. Brisky to Schrader to Katie Bergman. Bergman down low to Siebenaler. Bounce passes it to Schrader. Schrader will put it up and good. Micah Schrader with a nice shot. 15 seconds. Breininger on the wing. And she traveled. That'll be yet another turnover on the Apaches. And with 12.2 seconds, Aces will get the ball out of bounds. They inbounds it to Micah Schrader. Schrader over to Brisky with 6. Down low to Bergman. Katie Bergman driving the baseline. Tries to get it into Siebenaler as time expires. And that's the end of the third quarter. And the Aces continue to lead and dominate 58-20. Our third quarter score. We'll get ready to head into the last quarter. And as we do, we'll say another big thank you to our Hicksville Community Television basketball broadcast underwriters, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Both Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick and Jim Schmidt Ford lend us their support. They not only underwrite our basketball coverage, but all of our Aces sports broadcasts here on Hicksville Community Television for the 2015-16 school year, which means not only are you going to see a lot of boys and girls basketball at all levels over the next couple of months, but there'll be some wrestling coverage as well, and who knows what else we'll pull out of the hat. We try to get some track in for you, and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And whenever you see Aces sports, whether it's football, cross country, whether it is volleyball, basketball, track, wrestling, you name it, it's all on the air due to the generous underwriting support of the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. We cannot thank them enough for their continued support. 8 minutes of basketball left tonight. And give credit to the Lady Apaches. They have hung tough. They have not given up. They have played hard the entirety of this game, and there's no reason to think that it's going to be any different for these last 8 minutes. The game probably is already decided, but then again, you never know. Stranger things have happened. That's why they play all 4 quarters. Inbounds, and the Apaches have the ball to start quarter number 4. Wagner, as they'll move it around, launched by Robinson off the back of the iron, no good. Addison Bergman grabs the board over to Chelsea Taylor. Taylor to Micah Schrader. Schrader puts it up from the corner, up, no good. Bergman grabs the rebound, gets it off to Taylor. Taylor tries to go to the hoop, and it's knocked away from her. No whistle as Wendling comes up with it, gets it off to Wagner, back to Wendling. Wendling will toss it back to Wagner. Wagner for 3, well short and knocked out of bounds. Should be the Aces ball.
At some point, every coach goes through something like a game like this.
Micah Schrader to Chelsea Taylor. Back to Micah, back to Chelsea. Down to Addie Bergman. Chelsea, no good. Demlin goes for the rebound, and we're going to have a whistle. And that's going to put Avery Demlin at the line. She'll shoot 2, and that'll be personal foul number 3 on Mercedes Wagner. Team foul number 5. Demlin's first shot, good. Demlin gets one more. In and out, no good. And Bergman grabs the board, puts it up, and lays it in. Addison Bergman with the bucket. Lady Apaches back on offense. Slapped away by Chelsea Taylor. Taylor on the breakaway. Taylor loses the dribble. She has to hold up. Now she'll reverse her field, lays it up, no good. Demlin goes for the putback, no good. Taylor with a putback, no good. And Bergman cleans it up and gets the bucket. Caitlin Bereni getting ready to check back in. Robinson to Wendling to Wagner. And they'll go back the other way. Robinson will sky it. That's good for 3. Robinson gets the arc, gets the tray, and it's 63-23. Aces up by 40. Katie Bergman down low to her sister Addie. Addie, offensive foul. And that'll be number 3 on Addison Bergman. And Alexis Kearns and Caitlin Bereni will check in as Katie Bergman and Avery Demlin will step out. Lexi Kearns coming up off the JV squad, getting some varsity playing time. Robinson drives baseline. Ball loose on the floor. Addie Bergman comes up with it for the Aces. She'll toss it over to Chelsea Taylor. They'll slow it down. Taylor outside the three-point arc to Micah Schrader. Down low to Bergman, who gets it knocked out of her hands and out of bounds. 5:35 left to go in the contest. Taylor to Bergman, up, no good. Kearns down to Taylor. Taylor for three, no good. Rebound comes down into the hand, and then we're going to almost snatched away. Wendling hangs on to it. Guarded by Kearns. Slaps it out of bounds on the pass attempt to get it down to Wagner. So Taylor's going to come out. Ashley Peter into the game for the Aces, and also Wendling will come out, and back into the game will be Schrader. Inbounds to Kendra, to Phillips, and Phillips traveled. Micah Schrader. A little fancy dribbling, and it's knocked out of her hands. Micah gets it back, reestablishes, takes it back across half court to Bereni. And Bereni, we're going to have a whistle as both she and Robinson wind up on the deck. And Robinson's going to get her second personal foul. That'll be team foul number 6. Addison Bergman going to come out, and Madison Siebenaller back into the game. Schrader to Kearns, slapped away from Bereni on the pass attempt and out of bounds by Wagner. Micah Schrader will get ready to launch an inbounds. Partially deflected, but picked up by Kearns, who gets the bucket. Move it around the perimeter. Launch from three-point land. It's a long two for Kendra Schrader, and she's got 5 tonight. 65-25, Micah Schrader down into the corner. She'll launch it into Ashley Peter. Peter kicks it back out to Schrader. Schrader for a long two, and that's good. Micah Schrader into double figures with about a dozen points tonight. Kendra Schrader to Wagner, and then over to Robinson. Robinson will launch for 3. No good. Rebound comes down to Kearns, and we're going to have a whistle. And that'll be a foul on the floor. And I think Alexis will pick up her for personal. So Lexi Kearns gets her first personal. That's team foul number 5. And both Wagner and Robinson out for Fairview, and coming in off the JV squad for them is Zedike. And also back into the game, number 3, Vetter. And Breininger out there too. So Zedike puts it up, no good. And she'll go to the line. That'll be team foul 6. And that'll be the second personal on Ashley Peter. And Rose Zedike will be at the line. Shooting 2. Zedike. And no good. She'll get one more. The crowd's starting to thin out here at the red zone. One more for Rose Zedike. Up, and that one's good. So Rose Zedike gets a varsity point. Inbounds to Micah Schrader. Schrader tries to get it into Maddie Siebenaller, knocked out of bounds by Kreitz. It'll stay with the Aces. 3:46 as we're past the halfway point of the fourth quarter. Schrader to Bereni. Bereni launches for 3, and it's good. Oh, it's a long 2. So Bereni, with a foot on the line, sinks it from long distance. Phillips back to Schrader for the Lady Apaches. Almost stolen by Peter. Crank gets it back. Schrader drives in, no good. Gets her own board, tied up with Bereni, and we're going to have a push and a foul. And that should put her at the line. shooting 1 and 1. Brenny's going to pick up her 4th personal. Caitlin Brenny gets her 4th personal. Katie Bergman is getting ready to check in for her. And it'll be Kendra Schrader at the line to shoot 1 and 1. 3:24 on the 4th quarter clock. And she gets the front end. So she gets the bonus. And she gets that one to go too. 2 free throws for Schrader, as we'll come back the other way with the aces. Micah Schrader, guarded by Kendra Schrader. Micah to Alexis Kearns. Kearns going to drive in. Tries to get it off to Siebenaller, and we're going to have a whistle. And that's going to be on Kreitz. And that'll be her 3rd personal foul, and that's team foul number 7 for the Apaches. So the ace is in the bonus, and Maddie Siebenaller is going to shoot 1 and 1. Siebenaller gets the first one. Second shot. Also good. Siebenaller bangs them both home. Schrader to Breininger on the wing. Back to Schrader for the Lady Apaches. Over to Zedike. Zedike tries to feed it down low. She runs into Siebenaller, goes out of bounds. Apaches retain possession. It'll be Fairview's ball, and Breininger will bounce pass it into Zedike. Will pull the trigger. Short, no good. Phillips tries for the putback. Nothing doing there. They have to kick it back out on top to Schrader, who'll kick it to Kreitz down low. Kreitz will put it up from 15 and good. Her first points of the second half. Micah Schrader guarded by Kendra Schrader. Doing a little fancy dribbling over to Katie Bergman. Right back to Micah. Down low to Maddie Siebenaller. Puts it up off glass and good. 6 points now for Madison Siebenaller coming in here in this 4th quarter. That makes it 73-30. And this last 2 minutes and 17 seconds I don't think can go by fast enough for the Apaches. Breininger loses it. It goes out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Apaches. Last touched by Schrader, Micah Schrader. So Breininger inbounds to Kendra Schrader. Schrader, bounce pass to Breininger. Breininger takes the shot. Peter grabs the board. It's an air ball. Ashley Peter right there to catch it. Schrader down to Katie Bergman. Bergman over to Ashley Peter. Peter's going to drive in, lay it up, no good. But put back by Kearns, also partially deflected. Phillips comes up with the board. And we've got Ashley Peter. Looks like she took either an eye or an elbow or a finger to the eye.
Looks like she got her contact knocked out.
I'm not sure, but they're going to bring her out. So she's in some discomfort. And Caitlin Bereni will come in, playing with 4 fouls. Didn't see what happened to Ashley, but she's holding her eye. I don't know if she got a finger or an elbow or.
They've got one of the trainers over there looking at her, so
hopefully she will be okay. Back on the other end, Vetter with the ball for the Apaches to Schrader. Feeding it inside to Kreitz to Phillips. Phillips puts it up. No good. Siebenaller grabs the board for Hicksville. Madison's going to hold things. Get back to Micah Schrader. I'll get the offense set with 1:15. Bereni to Katie Bergman. Bergman will launch for 3, just a little bit short. Batted out of bounds. It'll be Fairview's ball. And that's actually going to be a foul. And that's going to be on Micah Schrader. That'll be her second personal, and it's going to put Kendra Schrader at the line to shoot 1 and 1. Kendra, no good. Out of bounds, and it'll be Aces ball with 1:08 to go in the game. Aces leading 73-30. Micah Schrader to Caitlin Bereni. Bereni with a minute exactly. Partially deflected, and we're going to have another whistle. And that'll be on Phillips. And that's going to put Micah Schrader at the line to shoot 1-1. Phillips' second personal. Schrader, first trip to the free throw line, and she gets it. And Schrader with one more. Gets that one too. Micah Schrader making him count. Under a minute, we come the other way. Better for the Apaches to Kendra Schrader. Kendra kicks it out to Zedike. Zedike back to Schrader. Looking for something, not seeing much. Vetter going to take the shot off the glass and good. So Vetter puts one in late in the game. Give her 4 points on the night. Caitlin Bereni with half a minute left to play in regulation. Over to Schrader, back to Bereni, down to Kearns in the corner. Back to Bereni, back to Kearns. They'll let the air out. They're in no rush. It doesn't matter. And Kearns looking things over with 12 to Bereni. Bereni back to Kearns. Cross-court pass stolen away by by Schrader. Shot is up and no good by Zedike, and time will expire. And that is the ball game. And let me tell you, the Apaches will not be able to get showered, get dressed, get on the bus, and get home fast enough. This is what you call a good old-fashioned whooping. As, again, the youth and inexperience shows for the Apaches as they get trounced by the Aces here in the varsity game, 75-32, the final score. So we'll do some quick compiling here. Because these numbers are going to be something when we All right. So here we go. For the Apaches on the losing end tonight, their leading scorer was Katie Kreitz, who finished up the night with 8 points total, and these are unofficial, by the way. Then a couple of Lady Apaches with 7 points each. That'd be Kendra Schrader and also Mercedes Wagner. Also scoring tonight for the Lady Apaches, Allison Vetter with 4 points on the evening. 3 tonight for Katie Robinson. 2 points for Aubrey Breininger, and 1 point off of a free throw from Rose Zedike. Now on the Aces side, leading all scorers tonight, but not by much. Addison Bergman. Addison finished up the night with 15 points, so she was a little below her average, but you can kind of understand why. Because Addison had 15 points unofficially, but then 14 points for Caitlin Bereni, 14 points for Micah Schrader, and 14 points tonight for Chelsea Taylor. So 4 aces in double figures. Aside from that, 6 points from Maddie Siebenaller, 5 tonight for Ashley Peter, 3 for Avery Demlin, and 2 points from Natalie Brisky, and 2 points for Lexi Kearns. So a lot of Lady Aces scoring tonight. Also, the free throw line in the entirety of the game, The Apaches only getting 5 points on free throws, but the Aces bucketed 16. So again, a 43-point victory for Hicksville tonight as they come away winners in the varsity contest, 75-32. Next up for the Lady Aces is going to be a game on December the 7th as they will be hosting Hilltop. We're not sure yet whether we're going to be able to have coverage for that game here on HIX-TV on that Monday night. We'll have to wait and see whether we're able to get the personnel together to be able to cover that one for you. But again, the next game for the Aces home at Hilltop, or home hosting Hilltop on December 7th, and then they'll be on the road to play at Stryker on December the 8th. And as for us, well, we're going to be back here tomorrow night with boys basketball action as the Aces will be hosting Continental Friday night boys basketball, but we'll talk more about that on Friday night. So with that, we are going to wrap things up as, again, the Aces dominating victory tonight as they basically shellacked the Apaches, but good, 75-32, your final score. Big thank you once again to Misters Haught and Overmeyer, the ADs, and the Hicksville Athletic Department. Thanks also one more time to the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships underwriting our basketball coverage here on HIX-TV. And for Kate Murphy on the camera, thanks to her for giving up her Thursday night a little bit as well. I'm Bill Murphy for Hicksville Community Television, wishing you good night and good sports.